Who's the new guy?
Who's this guy?
Who's the new guy?
What time is it?
Okay, so we have already said goodbye to him once here on the Morning Report, but now this morning we are sending Lee Nelson off for good. He is soon to be leaving the business.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. So, Lee, we had some well wishes for you from the new CENTER Maine team at 5:30, and now we want to hear messages from the team you worked with the longest, put together by photojournalist Kurt Craddy. So here we go.
Okay.
You're watching WCSH News Center 6.
The morning report kept growing, and it now runs for 2 hours beginning at 5 a.m.
My entire adult life, I have been working this schedule.
Working that shift can be tiring.
240 hurts every single day.
Once I get here, have some coffee, and start looking at things, I still get energized. And so I guess as long as I feel that way, you know, I'll keep doing it. And of course, as long as I can stand these two.
In all the years we worked together, I think we had one, I don't remember what the disagreement was about, but I remember one day we were kind of grumpy to each other for about 5 minutes up in the weather office, and that was that. You know, it's like, 10 minutes later we were talking again.
Mr. Nelson, where has the time gone after, what was it, 23 years almost on the anchor desk together? I think we could finish each other's sentences and read each other's minds. I'm not sure who that is the scarier proposition for, but I think it's true.
Mr. Nelson, man, you had an amazing career, and I was only like a small part of it. But I actually need to thank you, and Sharon too, for helping make my transition back to Maine 7 years ago so easy. I mean, working that morning show with you guys, the one that you established and created.
And many viewers feel a special connection with the morning team.
We had some good times, a lot of good times. There was the time you got trapped in the cameras in the studio and you couldn't get out to get back to the desk for your next read.
My favorite memories with the two of us, actually off the set, not on it. When we would go up to Shawnee Peak and do some skiing, a nice little getaway, get some runs in.
There was the time I accidentally walked behind your shot and you couldn't just let it go. You had to pretend you were walking down the stairs behind my shot. Remember that?
My favorite memory, though, is when we went down to Boston, to Fenway Park, and played in that, flag football game with all the media in Boston. And all those guys down there were kind of like, whoa. Who are these guys from Maine? They're actually pretty darn good. I mean, your spiral is so tight that day. It was great.
For whatever reason, people really do think of us as part of their families. I don't know if it's because it's the very first thing they do in the morning is flip on the news and see us so that it feels more like we're integrated into their whole day. There was Les Habs and then my all-time favorite, those stunt kites.
The 80s brought another change.
This is Storm Center.
It was treacherous. I could go about 10 miles an hour and the snow was coming right at me.
We stick people out in the snow to tell us it's snowing, but of course the most important thing is to cover the cancellations and delays.
No, the most important thing is the forecast. I've told you that over and over again.
And I still don't believe it.
We joked a lot if I got a forecast wrong, which happened very rarely, right, Lee?
And as soon as it's right, it'll really take that.
That's true.
He was always very positive, knowing, because we talked about it, how difficult weather forecasting is in general, but certainly here in New England. So I felt like he and Sharon had my back a lot on those days when we said it would only be a few inches of snow and we were shoveling, 8-10 inches.
Essentially, Storm Center took the cancellations that were the exclusive domain of radio and brought them to TV, along with expanded forecasts and reporters standing outside in the worst possible weather, telling viewers that they shouldn't go out.
The plows are out. If you look in Main Street in Lewiston, though, it is really slushy.
Good morning to you, Steve.
Good morning, Lee. Could you ask Roger if he would like to switch places with me? Because I'd be happy to.
The idea quickly caught on with all of the stations in Maine.
I don't know who came up with the sweater idea. It became some kind of a fashion statement because I remember the first couple of years, I'd go into the bank and they'd say, oh, we just love Storm Center because now we get to wear sweaters when it snows.
Anyway, wishing you all the best. Look out for those stunt kites in the real world.
Those are my favorite times, and I'll never forget them. And I want to wish you all the luck in the world in your next endeavors, although you're not going to need it. You're going to be hugely successful. So take care, bud. Thanks for everything.
Hard to pack 30 years into just a couple of minutes.
It is, and I knew you were going to bring up the stunt type story. And
that's legendary.
There's no explanation needed really, except to say that there was a misspeak in there one day during
combining
a story.
those two words.
Yeah, and it did not go well.
Right out there.
No, it was not good.
And I helped so much by, sitting very quietly next to you, stone-faced.
Well, you've told that story, I think, 4 million times, and you laugh hysterically every time. So
my favorite.
That's your favorite day here.
My favorite was your reaction afterwards when you said, I don't even say that word in real life. I can't believe I just said it on the air.
Yeah, and only one viewer wrote in, which made it a fairly good day.
Phew. Anyway, good times. Absolutely. And now you're getting into the fitness industry, huh?
I am indeed. I've actually been in it anyway, but now I'm going to be in it full time, and it's been something I've been looking forward to for a long time. I kind of felt like I accomplished everything I wanted to in here. And so it's time to go out and accomplish other things. But I loved you guys. It was so great to work with you for so many years. And yeah, Sharon, I mean, you were my work wife for so long.
I had to keep your calendar even, if you'll remember.
Yes, you did. And it is interesting. Sometimes you do spend more time with your work family sometimes than your real family. So we spent a lot of time together. And it all worked out so well. So I want to thank you all so much, and thank everyone out there too for your loyalty, because it wouldn't have worked if we didn't have the connection that we did.
Absolutely. So. All the best to you.
Thank you.
Hey, Lee, where'd you leave the manual on how to work with these guys? Just tell me later.
$500, and I'll let you have it.
Right next to the parenting manual that doesn't exist.